Hello, dear friends. It's Dr. Sarah. All disease begins in the gut. At least that's what Hippocrates said about 2,000 years ago. And today, many experts in integrative medicine, naturopathic, and functional medicine echo his proclamation. Are they and was he correct? That's what I want to explore with you today in this video. We're going to discuss the importance of digestive health, and I'm going to give a brief overview of how essential oils enhance gut function and the gut-brain connection. In upcoming videos in this series, we're going to discuss more about essential oils and get into some nitty-gritty on specific topics, such as how they impact the microbiome, stressed out guts, and mental health. But for now, let's do a basic overview about why the gut is so important for our overall health, or is it, right? This is what we're going to explore, and how essential oils support overall digestive function. Now, as always, all of the links to the studies will be in the accompanying article, and any previous posts or videos or any of my articles will be in the resource section. So go ahead and click the link in the video description if you want to do some additional nerding out to those resources. So let's go ahead and get started about the digestive system and why many people think that it is one of the biggest hubs to support for our overall health. When we think about the digestive system, many people think about digestion, assimilation of nutrients, absorption of them, and elimination of what our body doesn't need from what we ate. But the digestive system actually has many other functions. Let me just go through some of them briefly with you. So besides the elimination of our food that we don't need, it also helps us eliminate toxins and different metabolic wastes, which aids the liver in not being so overloaded. It also houses over 70% of our immune cells. So most of our immune system is actually located in our gut, which is why many autoimmunity diseases are now being linked to intestinal permeability. The gut is also responsible for producing 90% of our serotonin and other neurochemicals. And we'll discuss that when I talk a little bit more about the gut microbiome. The digestive system is also responsible for helping us with hormonal excretion. It communicates to our brain through this bidirectional feedback link known as the gut-brain axis. And the digestive system also has bidirectional feedback with other organs. There's this whole gut organ axis, and this includes the liver, the thyroid, the lungs, the immune system, even the skin. So the digestive system actually has many far-reaching system-wide effects. So perhaps now you can understand why if we don't have a healthy gut, it can impact almost every other aspect of the body. So maybe perhaps now you're starting to see there might be some validity to that 2,000-year-old claim, but let's go a little bit further. Now, it's not Halloween, but I have something a little spooky to share with you. In case you didn't know, we are host to trillions of microbes that are inside and outside on our skin, in our bodies. And astoundingly, the GI tract alone is home to 10 to the 14th cells of thousands of different species of these microbiota. Now, these bugs in our bellies literally have a brain of their own. And that's what's involved in that two-way communication between the head, our literal head, and our gut nervous system. And the enteric nervous system, which is the gut nervous system, is related to the nervous system in our brains, the cranial nervous system, and the CNS, and that's the gut-brain communication. When we think about the many physiological processes that the gut is going through, they are fueled by these VIP bugs that reside in our gastrointestinal tract. These microbes actually produce most of the molecular signals, which influence the brain, which tells the rest of the body what to do. So that's part of the reason that digestive system has so many different functions. So let's look at the functions in relationship to these microbes or the microbiome. When I say microbiome, biome, I'm actually talking about all the microbiota plus their genetics information that is all together in a certain area in the body versus just the microbiota themselves, just labeling the bugs. That's the technical term, but just FYI. All right, so if we look at the functions of the microbiome, they actually help the bugs in our bellies digest and produce short chain fatty acids. You probably heard of SCFAs. Now, these are broken down from complex carbohydrates and fiber that our digestive tract can't break down alone. And they actually serve as metabolites, as energy sources that fuel the colon cells. And they also regulate our gastrointestinal pH to help with proper functioning of enzymes. They influence metabolism. These short chain fatty acids also influence our appetite. They help with inflammatory processes and with cognition, actually to our brain. It's that gut-brain communication again. Another thing that these microbes are responsible for in our bellies is balancing our immune function. Our gut bugs actually help balance the immune system response as well as inflammatory processes. They actually assist with the differentiation between self, pathogen, and beneficial microbes. They also help to produce our vitamins, including our B vitamins and vitamin K. They also help to support intestinal integrity. Many of you have probably heard of leaky gut. Now, the gut microbiome actually defends and competes against harmful pathogens to help maintain this gut epithelial barrier. So this prevents a leaky gut that would be related to damage from these harmful compounds. And it also prevents that if the gut does get leaky, those harmful compounds being undigested and processed, leaking out into our system and causing system-wide effects. So we want a healthy intestinal integrity. That's kind of the autoimmune connection with a gut dysfunction, is that people get this leaky gut and then the immune process and balance breaks down because that immune tolerance is broken down. Another aspect that our microbes do is the manufacturing of different neurotransmitters. So when we think of neurotransmitters, many people think of their brain, but our gut microbiome actually produces the same ones, such as GABA, serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine, acetylcholine, and melatonin. Melatonin is actually a byproduct of serotonin and tryptophan. Finally, another key function of the microbiome, and there's more, is they help balance hormone metabolism. So we talked about how the digestive system is related to hormonal balance. Well, there exists an aggregate of bacteria, and they have a special name in our gut called the estrobolome. And these estrobolomes actually help us metabolize inflammatory estrogens. And if they don't do a good job of that, the estrogen recirculates throughout the body. But it can also be a bad thing if there's too much estrogen because our body needs balance with progesterone and other hormones. So there's more and more research that is emerging, and probably even a month after this video is released, there'll be another big discovery with the microbiome in our overall health. So evidence continues to accumulate. It's hard to even keep up with all that's happening between our microbiome and our overall wellness. I think that by now, if we look at the digestive system and its functions, and specifically what the microbiome does in our gut, you can see that there is some validity to that old adage saying of all disease begins in the gut. But I want a caveat here. It might not necessarily begin in the gut. I think a more accurate saying would be all disease is impacted by gut health. Then we have something to work with, because to this day, I can't think of a specific disease or symptom where the gastrointestinal tract doesn't need to be addressed. So now that we know all of the different functions of the digestive system, now that we know the importance of the gut microbiome, let's look at one of my favorite modalities to discuss that's easily accessible to all of us. And that is essential oils and how they can support our gastrointestinal health as well as our digestive function. And they even support our microbiome. Why? Well, I talked about all of the different biological properties of essential oils in previous videos, including the detox video, when I talked about how that impacts our ability to detoxify. These same biological properties are related to our digestive health. So let's break those down. Essential oils can modulate the immune system and help with inflammation, which is a function of the gut. They support several enzymes that help the body detoxify. They act as antioxidants, protecting cellular and mitochondrial health, which is important for overall health and the energy of our gastrointestinal cells. They're neuroprotective, preserving cognitive function. So if there is any inflammation or any disease processes going on, they can help protect the brain and the gut brain. They're antimicrobial, they're antiviral, antifungal, and they aid in mitigating stealth infections that can accumulate from toxin-related immune compromise and could damage our gut lining. They impact our neurotransmitters. They directly aid digestion, assimilation, elimination, and a healthy microbiome. So, whereas antibiotics and synthetic medications can destroy some of our bacteria because they aren't selective in which bacteria they destroy in the gut, they kind of just wipe out all of the different bugs. Essential oils actually selectively inhibit the pathogens from what we know from animal research and a few clinical studies. Essential oils help to modulate stress, cortisol, hormones, and blood sugar issues, which all influence gut health. They support vagal tone. So we've talked about vagal tone before on this channel. Basically, what vagal tone does is it enhances parasympathetic activity, which is the autonomic rest and digest part of the nervous system. And this allows us for optimal functioning, getting us out of survival and for better digestion, assimilation, absorption, and all other body processes. Finally, essential oils, through their biochemical properties, as well as through their aromatic properties, impact our neuroplasticity, which is how our brain is actually wired. It shifts brain electrical activity, and they're used for psychoaromatherapy, which is the impact on our mood, emotions, and mental state. So all of these effects, all of these biological properties have a wide range of impact on our gut and digestive health. You can see where that would be a good ally for digestive function. Now, in the resource section, I do have an article support for overall gut health that goes beyond just some essential oils. So you might want to check that out as well. Now, let's kind of summarize what we've learned today. Having a well-tuned digestive system is paramount for any kind of imbalance going on in the body. And this is because the gut is our hub of our overall wellness. It doesn't only aid in digestion, assimilation, and absorption of nutrients, but it impacts almost every other area of health. This is through communication to the brain, the gut-brain axis, as well as its bidirectional relationship to all other organ systems. The microbes in our intestinal tract provide further essential functions for our overall health. These include things such as supporting our immune health, our hormones, our brain, our digestion, and our intestinal health itself. Essential oils actually aid our digestive health through many of the biological properties that I just reviewed that influence these vital aspects of health. Okay, so that is our overview of the importance of a digestive system, why all disease is affected by gut health, and what essential oils can do for us to support a healthy belly. Now, in the next video, again, I'm going to be going over some specifics more on essential oils for digestion, for stress, for the microbiome. So you will want to stay tuned for that. I welcome all feedback. Please place all your comments in the comment section, and I will be happy to get back to you. I love talking with you guys and seeing how I can support you more. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to do that. It gives our channel a wider reach, and it also helps spread the word of evidence-based use of essential oils into holistic clinical practice. I will have more announcements coming soon about my upcoming program, so be sure to also subscribe to my newsletter. Thank you so much for joining me today. I send you many blessings, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.